I have no idea why this is in widescreen. God damn it. I'm sure glad I installed that emergency light. And I didn't even turn on the microwave oven. I guess I'll bring something else from down here up out the storage. Probably fits. I don't think I'll bring that thing. I'll bring this one though. This one needs clean. We'll bring this tree. Camera gets to sit down for a bit. I don't know what's in this box here at the bottom. I'll have to check that out because that might be something that, oh god damn, this is heavy. That might be something I'll have to bring out to the garage. That could possibly be another box of Christmas stuff. I'm unsure. YouTube updated their live stream thing, and it wouldn't let me film the video in Auditan. And my apologies for the camera being all shaky and stuff. I'm doing one-handed right now. I don't have room for this up in the attic. We'll find out. I wonder if that air conditioner decided to kick on. I seriously wonder, because that could have done it if this air conditioner up here was like, I'm gonna turn on. Because it says 70 on there. I think I have the unit set for 70. Oh yeah. The Akadaka adapter. But 74. turn this off. I'll have to remember to turn it on later, though. This dehumidifier looks happy. We'll cook the pizza first. And of course, now I have to reset the clock on here. Maybe if I close this. Old vintage microwave oven. It just works. Maybe I'll bring something else out. I already turned off all the lights though, I believe. I just have to go lock up the door. A little surprising start to the live stream, I say. I wonder if that air conditioner kicked on. Probably kick that dehumidifier on after we get to food, because that one works a bit better. I'm not too sure. This here, actually. Stereo remote. I was going to have the stereo on, but... yeah, apparently checking the chat disconnects you from the live stream. So that's something. Smells like pizza in here. Oh, I guess I was running a good bit of electricity because both these dehumidifiers are going. The refrigerator is probably running. And I guess just by opening the door and turning on the light in that microwave, I probably caused it to trip the breaker. But I had this light going with the fluorescence. That ceiling fan was going. I don't believe any of the fans upstairs was going. I think I just had the one LED up there, which only doesn't draw that much power. Yeah, just the one LED. Disregard that stereo in demo mode. I have to... I don't think I'll unplug it. Hey, Ryan Hall's on. Huh? You look for this microwave to go. It's 500 watts. That's not much. So... just funny because these smaller microwaves... okay. These smaller microwaves, they only draw like, I think they're like 1,000 watt. Which is like half of what the other one is. Okay, 900. It's close enough. Both of these are the same. They're just slightly different for different brands. But those are way less than this. This is a 500 watt, which isn't much for a microwave oven. It has the world's most annoying piezo when it finishes. Only being like a really low wattage, it works good. I got my late night dinner. I'm gonna be going home late tonight. Say that. Oops. With this done, I can fire up the dehumidifier. Not that one. It draws too much energy. But starting to hear some fan motor bearing noise in this. And it rattles really bad. I think this one has lasted longer than the one my grandparents got. That one didn't last, like, it only lasted like 3 years or so before it eventually or abruptly died. It was a bit longer than 3 years, but this one's going a lot stronger. So this one's going to be... I hope this dehumidifier stays around a bit longer, because it works really good. I just don't want to buy another modern piece of junk that's not going to work as good as this one. Oh, damn. Pizza's hot. Oh, sheesh. And I say that's hot. Some hot pizza. I'm gonna need this extension cord out. I think it just gets stuck. My car just complained about it being hot and I'm taking another bite. I gotta get that clock fixed. Well, you can't see it. The fan's in the way. Gotta get that clock fixed. And take these fans down too and put up new fans. I just have to get some industrial ceiling fans first, but once I get some of those, all these residentials are coming out. Hello. Good pizza. How's my battery doing? Battery's been good in about half. It's delicious. This is a day old pizza. I've had it here in the fridge. Domino's. I have a Duracraft model DW622 window fan. I don't know what that model is. As of right now, I don't have any Duracraft window fans anymore. But I had I don't know if it was a 6 or 12. Yeah, it was a 12-inch free speed reversible model, single blade. But that's a pretty good fan. I gave it to my friend when he moved into his house because he needed a window fan to use. So I gave him that one. And that, for me, that fan's childhood. We got it with this house when we moved in. It was just up in one of the upstairs attics, and I used the heck out of it here when we moved in circa 2016. $1993. Man, you're that old. The old, the Duracraft turbo fans, those date back all the way to the late 1980s. I think 88 was when they started making them, but the iconic Duracraft turbo fans, those date back all the way to the 80s, the ones with the knob in the center, the 2 speed. I might have some up here. Actually, I know for sure I have some. Probably be too dark to see anything, but I'm at Alaska Whirlwind. Yeah, but these, I have a gray one and a rainbow one. The gray one's a big childhood fan. I have 2 more inside, and the ones I have inside, they're 80s models, and they have the Air Duracraft branding. It was way before Duracraft was bought by Honeywell, and then Honeywell was bought by Kaz. Have you seen Triton 115's videos? Nope. Let me see my chat. I don't want to hide my chat. It shows how modern fans will break, and the antique ones are built to last. That is true. There is some good stuff made up until the 2000s. A lot of people like to knock on things from the 90s and the 2000s. My favorite one is where the Alaska fan broke as soon as he turned it on. Have I ever had any fans break out of the box? I've bought fans where after I unboxed them, they were crazy out of balance to the point where they weren't really usable. I had a Coolmaster box fan I bought last spring, back in March of last year. And out of the box, that thing was crazy out of balance. Which, if you've seen Jordan Yu, he said this, and I can't agree with him. Cheap Chinese garbage, yeah. They claim to be made in America, which is true. They're American-made fans, but the motors, those are imported from China. The capacitors, are imported from China. I'm not sure about the switch. Those use a tower switch. I think those are made here in the States, but a majority of the materials that are used to make the fan, I'm pretty sure, stuff for the plastic, that's probably outsourced from China as well. So, yeah, they are Chinese garbage. And those Laska Free 7 Free Freeze, yeah, I've seen a lot of Jordan Utters fan videos. But a lot of those Laska Free 7 Free Freeze, they fail prematurely because the motors, they're not designed the best, they don't have the best ventilation. So they tend to be very closed off and not enough air gets into them. I have a Free 7 Free upstairs I can show you, but I have an older one that's readily available, one from my childhood. It's a 2000 model, one, the first year of the recalled versions. I'm one of those, but yeah, a lot of those, they don't have the right motor ventilation and they fail prematurely. Not to mention the build quality on them is pretty bad. They're really cheap, and there's no such thing anymore as a high-end box fan, if that makes sense. There's no more all-metal construction box fan. Laska tried doing it for a while. Is it possible to make a multifunctional battery-powered fan that can be powered by battery, AC, and solar? I think it's very well possible. I think a company done it already, but there are plenty of rechargeable fans, and there's plenty of like AC powered fans. Now, I'm not sure about like a full-size 20-inch fan or an oscillating fan, but a lot of the little smaller fans, Opolar is a brand I'm familiar with because they were kind of popular in the mid-2010s. But they made a little 9-inch box fan that had some 2650 cells in there in the bottom of it. I think two 2650s, and the fan could run off of those battery cells or be plugged in with a USB cable, and you could use it with that. And if you have a power brick, like something like a power brick with a USB on the bottom of it, you could convert it to that, which is like 4.5 volts. So then you can get AC power into it. But I don't think you can like charge like a direct solar panel into it. You have to get a solar panel converter. I had no idea. I had such an idea for a fan. I had a 12-inch version in mind. I would like to see some sort of portable fan that could run off of both AC and and solar. I think that would be very useful, especially for a lot of applications like work. Ryobi, they make some fans that use their 18 volt 1+ battery, one of these bad boys. But they make fans that you can pop one of these into, and then they also have a socket for plugging in an extension cord. And I've not used one of those, but I've heard a lot of people say that those are very good fans. I know Ryobi has one, but I have a feeling a lot of other manufacturers, I know DeWalt has one, but I have a feeling a lot of the other big power tool manufacturers, such as like Milwaukee and Makita, they probably have their own set, with their own fan. I have a feeling like companies like Milwaukee and stuff that have the better quality ones. Ryobi's kind of hit or miss. I know a lot of people knock on them. I've had good luck with Ryobi though. But I don't think like companies like Black & Decker, they'd sell one. I think Rigid has one. But those are kind of useful. I have seen in a lot of cases, like you can, like if you do want to run a fan, like a normal AC fan off of one like that, you can get get like an oscillating fan or whatever, plug it into a power inverter with a battery and a solar charge controller that controls a solar panel. It's a lot going on though, so to have it in one simplified package would be really nice. I actually have a pretty good Chinese-made cheap fan from Walmart. branded under the Better Homes and Gardens name. Easy to clean, easy to service, and maintain. 9 inches, runs on AC and batteries, free speeds. AC and batteries, weird. For one of those, I know what you're talking about, like the 9 inch one. My friend has one of those. We did a blade. We bent the blades on it to get it more airflow. I remembered when those first came out. I thought those were made by Midea, but they're made by some other Chinese company. But I remember seeing those in stores. Walmart had them under the Mainstays brand at first before the Better Homes and Gardens name, and then we have a chain of stores here called Fleet and Farm, and they had those there under their house name, which was Nantucket Breeze. I wanted to get one of the Nantucket Breeze ones because I like the logo on those. I just feel like seeing Better Homes and Gardens listed on a fan just doesn't really seem like very like normal, if that makes sense. I don't know. Like it's like a magazine, but like to see it like on a fan, it's like, huh. My friend recently picked up a 16-inch stand fan from them. Motor has a bad thermal fuse, and I actually had another one a few years back with the bad. Is there such thing as a talking fan? Does one exist? I don't know. Now there is Holmes made a fan in the 90s, maybe early 2000s. It was a 9-inch oscillating desk fan. Maybe it was a 6-inch oscillating desk fan. But it had a built-in radio. So there was a radio inside of the fan. AM/FM radio. Just like your normal like clock radio or something. Like it probably didn't sound very good, but I know those exist. I don't know much about it. I've not seen pictures or videos of it, but I've heard people talk about them. And then there is the normal message fan, which is a fanetkin display letters with a series of LEDs that is attached to the blades. As the fan blade spins around, the LEDs will flicker on and off from a control board, and you can display different messages on there. And those are actually pretty common in a lot of things. You see them. They're not just like for fans, but they have little ones, like little 4-inch ones that are used as clocks. But I've seen a lot of times where they use the same type of mechanism. I'm pretty sure if you go online, you can find some information about that. I don't have, like, as of right now, I don't have any message fans. I plan on getting, like, I want to get one of those little Brookstone ones that has the clock built in. I thought those were kind of cool. And I want to know how long they last. I would use one daily. And then there's another, like, really cheap one. It's really cheap Chinese dingus with a mesh grill. It's like a 9-inch or 7-inch or so. I want to get one of those, and it's the oscillation one, and it displays different text on it. Random, like, text stuff, like, weird, like, fan puns and things, but to see that in, like, a 12-inch, like a 9-inch format, it'd be cool if they made, like, a 16-inch fan or something, but I have a feeling, like, it's a very niche thing, and not everyone will be going out of their way to get a message fan, but, yeah. I recently subscribed to Super Fan Man. He made a great fan videos. I like him. One of my friends knows him. He talks to him on Discord. He seems like a cool person. I never talked to him myself, but he has some pretty cool stuff in his collection. A lot of stuff you don't see here in the States. Kind of funny because he's just north of me by a few hundred miles, like 300, 200 something miles north of me, because he lives in Canada, I'm in Ohio, and up in that area there's a completely different line of products. Everything's way different up there. It's not like a noticeable amount of different, but there's a lot of difference there when it comes to fans, portable fans and ceiling fans. But You also see the up in Canada. You see the brand name Electra Home used a bit more often, which I know Electra Home stuff was sold here in the States, but it's weird that you see it up in Canada on fans. Over here, you see it on a lot of home and consumer electronics. Like you'll see like a stereo system with 8-track player type deal that's branded under Electra Home, or like a boombox, or like a CRT or something, or speakers. There's actually a set of speakers at my local thrift store that are under the Electra Home name, but you never really see that brand on fans over here. Now, the only fans we got over here under the Electra Home name were the antique ones from like the 50s and stuff, and then in the 70s, J.C. Penney was selling the 12-inch ones, the 4 blades that are made in Korea. They were selling those, but those are like unobtainium over here. Mike Urban has one. He actually found one at a Goodwill, out of all places. I find that really surprising. Ugh. Is there a fan company called Husky? Do they make fans? I don't think there's like an actual fan company called Husky, but Western Auto, in the 1950s and 60s, they put the brand name Husky or Husky Wizard on various fans. Most notably Burstead products, like Burstead box fans. I don't have a Wizard Husky or a Husky branded fan. I do know some other collectors that do. One of my friends actually has just a Wizard Deluxe branded fan from them. But yes, that does exist. Now there could be some others that I'm unaware of. I think there's like an Australian brand that was also called Husky, but I'm not too sure. And then Philco Ford had a line of window air conditioners under the Husky name. But never actually anything that was like an actual brand of as Husky. Almost done. Eating my last slice of pizza. It's good. Clean off my hands, are a bit greasy. I love Husky dogs. Do you have one? I don't have a Husky. I have a German Shepherd. It's not really mine. It's my mom's dog. I used to have a German Shepherd, but he passed away prematurely. Only lived 3 years. He had cancer. I personally really like pit bulls. There's a person I dog set for, and she has a pit bull, and a really nice big one. And I'll go take it out for walks and stuff. Is Technological Heritage on the Facebook groups? No, I don't believe so. I believe he's kind of staying away from Facebook because pretty much the platform itself is very corrupt, and it has a lot of issues and doesn't work very good. I don't know, like, if you're on Facebook, shoot me a friend request. I just go by Eric Deeds. I should have a profile picture of me hanging off the front of a school bus. My family had a my family had a Doberman Pinscher for 10 years before he passed away from cancer. His name was Terminator. My neighbor growing up had a Doberman. Can't remember her name, but she was mostly an outside dog, mostly. Steve Shed. Okay, I'll remember. Hopefully I can remember that. But, yeah. Someone else I know has a Doberman puppy named, I think her name is Simba? I think it's Simba. I'm not sure. But I might actually be dog sitting her later this summer. I've been doing dog sitting a bit on the side as a side hobby. It's just kind of annoying because it's hard. Dogs are a lot of work to take care of. I'm not much of an animal person. There's only certain dogs I like, because some of them, they're really like rambunctious, ornery, and annoying. And then others, are just like very pleasant. That's always like why it is. And there's this one dog. I think it was a pit bull schnauzer mix. That I've been taking care of, and she's an escape artist. She's a little Houdini. Since her older sister passed away, um, back in November, she decided to start hopping the fence and escaping, and I went on a wild goose chase around the neighborhood to try to find her, and she was across the street from this busy intersection. I thought she was going to get murdered because she tried walking across the street with this with the cars and stuff. So yeah, I'm Simba. That sounds like a golden retriever name. Pumbaa would be a good name for a Newfoundland dog. I would like a golden retriever. They're beautiful dogs. There's a person I know, actually, their dog's Charlie. It's a golden retriever, and oh man, he's a beautiful dog. And for a while, I never went over to his house. Uh, I did see, I did see it yesterday, and he's grown so much since last time I saw. I'll send a friend request. I don't blame you. I try to avoid Facebook as crazy as it can be sometimes. The fan groups are the only thing I care about, honestly. Yeah, the fan groups, I'm in a school bus group on there, the Ohio Bus Enthusiasts. Um, that's about it. The fan groups are pretty nice because there's a lot of people out there. The fan community is pretty cool with a lot of people, and you're able to interact and stuff. Now, I do I do talk with Technological Heritage on Instagram a good bit. Um, but yeah, but he's a local collector. He lives a few blocks away from me. He has a really nice collection, and I've been paying him to work on a lot of my fans for me because I have been very depressed and unable to work on a lot of things. But we finished up the Lakewood over there. You could probably see it, the P23. Go have a look at it. 1974 P23. So yeah, um, you're just like me. I like to collect old things. I have a Game Boy SP101, 6 vintage fans, a couple of vacuum cleaners, including my favorite, a Kirby Classic Red 78. I have a few vacuums myself. I have a lot of vintage fans. Now, something I said to myself is I never wanted to collect vacuums. But then, when we moved to this house, we have a lot of floors and a lot of places to vacuum and a lot of different floor types. So, eventually, I started picking up a lot of vacuums. So, I have a lot more vacuums now than I ever did before in the past. But I have a good variety. I the one I've been dailying right now is I think it's a 1960s Kirby Dual Sanitronic 60, and that one's been really nice. It's the first Kirby I've ever used. It's not self-propelled. It's the oldest Kirby I've used and the lightest Kirby I've used, and I really like it. I just don't like the shakeout bag. I wish it used like the normal bags that a lot of those vacuums used. But before then, I was using a Hoover convertible I inherited from a family friend who passed away. And then I have another Hoover convertible that's a bit older that I got from a local collector in a trade deal. I actually had a refrigerator like this, but it was a bit smaller, and I traded him that refrigerator for that vacuum. And then I have my original. I have 2 vacuums from my childhood. One of them is a 2002 Hoover. No, it was a 1999 Hoover. Um, 1999 Hoover wind tunnel. It's almost identical to this one. I just picked this up as a parts machine. Somebody parting this one out to fix it. And then the other one's a 2002 Bissell Cleanview 2 Special Edition, which is like one of my favorite ones. Jordan, you started getting his interest in fans when he was a kid. His earliest fan video was made in 2008 when he was about 14 or 15. I forgot what model it was. Have you subscribed to his channel? Of course I'm subscribed to Jordan Yu. His voice reminds me so much of Garfield. I guess I can see it now. Hello, viewers. Yes. I never thought about that. He does sound like Garfield. I didn't realize you know a lot more about him than I do. You better not be stalking him. I didn't know he's been making videos since '08. I thought it was like 2014 or so. At least it's like when he started uploading them anyway, it was about 2014 or so. I think he was like 16 or so when he started uploading. He got into fans. I didn't really get into fans until around 2017, but I had an interest in fans as a kid because my grandmother had a few fans. I feel the movie's coming out on Memorial Day. I've heard about it, but okay, if you're eating this last piece of pizza crust. But my grandparents had a few fans growing up. They had 3 of them. 2 Cool Breeze oscillating fans and a little like 6-inch Lasko. Actually, I have the 6-inch Lasko here. It's the only one left. And I have a fan that's similar to one of the Cool Breezes. Almost identical, but it just has a different badge on it. It would be this Lasko right here. This was a fan that they had. I'm not sure if I've seen any of the other movies. I did watch the cartoon, though. But this is one of the fans my grandparents had originally. It's a 6-inch Lasko. But they also had a few others. They had a 12-inch Cool Breeze from the 80s with a gray silver grill similar to this and a translucent blade. And that was the one that was responsible for my collection. And then they had another 12-inch with blue blades, similar to the Sweater Works. The other one from the 80s was similar, but cool. I see a red fan Clifford. Love that one. Red fan. I have a few of those. Where at? I don't see a red fan. Huh. I know I have a red fan over at my mom's house, but the one Cool Breeze I liked, it was like this, pretty much exactly. It had square buttons instead of piano key buttons, and then the other fan with the Sweater Works. The only difference was instead of it having the Weather Works on the badge, it said Cool Breeze and it had some slots cut in the badge, like a lot of the Winmere Paragon fans of the time. So those were my big childhood fans. But the Cool Breeze, I messed with that one as a kid. Air conditioning broke back in 2009. Well, there was a company called Big Ass Fans, and they make industrial ceiling fans that are bigger than the size of this garage. And you can see them a lot in water parks and gyms and fitness centers. So, yeah, of course I did. But yeah. So those were the 2 fans. I started collecting. The first fan I ever owned was an 18-inch Duracraft, and there was a bug on my leg, so I killed it. It was an 18-inch Duracraft oscillating stand fan. That's at my mom's house in my bedroom. That was the first fan I ever got. Eventually, both of those Cool Breezes, they died. They were replaced with Feature Comforts oscillating fans. One of them was actually replaced with a Rowenta oscillator, which I thought those fans were really cool, but now I hate them now that it like replaced like my major childhood fan. But so there's those things. But I'm on the lookout for a 12-inch Cool Breeze oscillating fan, one with the silver grill, gray translucent blades, and push-button controls. And the one made by Kühlhorn. I'm pretty sure it's a Kühlhorn. I don't know if they were ever made by anyone else. Well, Cool Breeze had like a total of 4 different OEMs. I found out recently they had Paragon as an OEM. I think they had Paragon as an OEM. I found that very interesting. They're a lot like Winmere where they bounced around. And I think they were related to Winmere because Winmere shared a lot of the OEMs as Cool Breeze. And they also had Cool Breeze. They made one fan where they used a very weird, like, kind of like a transition OEM. It was I think it was a Chinese. It could have been a Taiwanese, but it was Kuhishing's replacement company. It was like Yang Huang or something, Electric Co. and that company made the they made some other fans for them. Which blade set, in your opinion, blows most efficiently? 3 blades, 4 blades, 5 blades, or 6 blades? It depends on what type of fan. If it's a ceiling fan, I'd say 3 blades. I always feel, I guess with a ceiling fan, a large fan with 3 blades moves the most air, and a small fan with either 4 or 5 works good. Now, they didn't make too many of these 6-bladed ones. Some of these 6-bladed ones, they're okay, but I feel like with ceiling fans, 3 blades are the best. Now, with like a box fan or something, let me take a sip of this first. With like a box fan, I feel it all comes down to the blade set and what type of blade set you're running. Each blade set is kind of different, but I will still say 3 blades probably moves the most air. Actually, no. I'd say 2. If it's like a plastic blade, the old freshened air fans, they use 2 really skinny blades. They're about 2 inches thick. They're made entirely of Bakelite, which is a form of plastic, a really tough, thick plastic that's heat resistant. And those blades, I think, are the most efficient because they're very quiet and move the most amount of air now. A lot of the freshened airs, they're paired with a very big, oversized motor. Now, I'm pretty sure you could make a metal blade prop with one of those. And I would say with portables, I'm going to guess that a 2 blades is probably the way to go. Because I had to think about that for a bit. I was going to say 3. Duracraft DW622 window fan I mentioned earlier has 6 blades and is electrically reversible. I remember this. That's probably the same. That's probably the same Duracraft I had. Is it a single blade? Does it have like a single blade set in it? And is it like a 12-inch? Single blade 12s. That's probably the same one my friend has. If you want, I can get a video of it. I might have some old videos on my channel. But if that's the case, we have like the same childhood window fan, which is kind of cool. But yeah, I can't believe that. 2 people that have like the same childhood fan. That's kind of awesome. I think there's a few other people that have like the same, like the major childhood fan for me is probably that Cool Breeze, but not many people see those. Ben Phelps had a Cool Breeze, which is actually was the A137, which is like it's one of my favorite models, and I was able to buy one off of him when he got a second one. I got the more broken one that he had, which was a must-have for my collection since it is a very old oscillating fan. Cycler Wheeler, who's involved in the very first fan, put 2-blade propeller onto electric motor. There you go. Crude, but it worked. Hey, I mean, it works. That's like once again, the freshened airs, those were very good fans. Now, over in Hong Kong, there's a company called Wington, and they make fans that are pretty much just like an exact clone of the old freshened airs, except they have a bit more of a restrictive grill. But they have the same styling with the motor, same styling as the blade, and even like the same style of badge as the freshened airs. And from what I've heard from some fan collectors over in Hong Kong, those fans are really good. And it's probably one of the better fans to come out of China. And I guess that kind of goes to show you not everything from China's junk. But the problem is we don't get those good quality fans over here. There's been like no companies or anything that's like importing those Wington fans. I'd hope, like, hopefully someone imports them over here because I'd like to get one and use it here in my shop. I watched an old video on the history of Westinghouse fans from 1954. They said George Westinghouse was involved with the first electric fan. That's dog shit. A lot of the old marketing videos for those was kind of like a like marketing, and they kind of like told a bit of lies, but it was kind of unsure because there was a lot of companies making fans in the early days. Um, like there, a lot of the big companies like General Electric, Deal, Westinghouse, and Emerson. Those were the big ones over here in the States. I'm not sure about other companies. I think there was like some company in Malaysia, but I'm not sure. I don't know too much about it, but I know the big ones over here. Like, I think like Deal and Westinghouse were the two big ones over here that were like in the early stages. Like General Electric, they made motors, but they didn't. But like they were making the motors for the fans, but they didn't start actually making electric fans until like the other two companies were like caught on. So there's there's a lot of stuff and discrepancies, but I would say something that like I could say Westinghouse probably made probably like one of the like they were the company to probably make the improvements and actually make them like an actual fan instead of like a motor on a piece of wood with a prop, like a modified miniature airplane prop. So yeah, Westinghouse did make some great fans over the years. Even got some ideas from watching some of their old models. Judging by their features, they don't make fans like they do now. Yeah, and once again, like back in the day, companies they were very innovative. Westinghouse was one of them with their. Uh, yeah, I'm also in Ohio, Northern Ohio to be exact. Um, but the crap, what was it? The crap, Westinghouse made a really good made some good fans. The Mobile Air, that's what I was thinking of. The Westinghouse Mobile Air, it's a stand fan, kind of high velocity thing, and the design where it kind of had the grill that kind of scoops in. It's very effective and very quiet. Um, it's kind of hard to believe that a blade set like that can be so quiet and move the amount of air that it can do. They did a very good job designing it, and I wish designs like that still existed, but instead you got motors that run at very high RPMs and blades that aren't very steep. Like this, actually, no, this Lakewood's kind of powerful, but you get fans that don't have blades that are like this steep, but like motors that run at pretty high RPMs. This Lakewood's kind of an exception. Now they focus on cheapness, cost cutting. There's a perfect, clear videos explained the moment I've turned them on. Now, like I can show a lot of the cheapness. There, even some of these older fans. Like I had some box fans from the 50s and 60s, and a lot of those 50s and 60s box fans. There's a big differences between like these 70s models. This Lakewood, like it makes these Lakewoods look pretty cheap, but compared to some of the stuff today, yeah. But there's like not a market anymore for these larger box fans like this. The ones that are made pretty good. Air King still has one, but it's pretty much a Laska weather shield or a wind machine stuffed inside of a bigger case. I don't know what the purpose of the bigger case is on those. They could have gone with like the case of like the older Laskas. What does it mean when a fan blade is out of clock? Jordan, you mentioned that in a lot of videos. What does that mean? I can show you. Let me have a drink first. So a blade out of clock can mean one of anything. It's kind of, a lot of times people will confuse an out of clock blade for a blade that's out of balance. And the easiest thing you can do is look at the blades. If you look directly at the blades of the fan, all of them should be in the same line. But if there's, all the blades are spinning, but there's one blade that's kind of up, like that, on the blade set, that's how you know that that blade is bent back, therefore putting the fan out of clock. That's one of the ways that, and that's kind of, I think that's like I'll call that like a vertical out of clock movement, I'm not sure. And then there's the horizontal kind, or the abnormal kind, and this typically comes from, yeah, shit, I'm late, how are you? I'm doing good. But then there's the normal kind of out of clock where the hub is center. Actually, we'll use this hubcap as an example. A lot of times the fan should have it here, but then there will be a molding defect in this hole in the center of the hub's actually over here, causing the blade to spin abnormally. And that's typically what causes a lot of the issues. So that's what an out of clock blade is. By the way, Slushy for president. Ooh, he would make a good president. I don't know what he would do or what party he's in. Be a lot better than the nutcases everyone keeps electing. Sick of these old dudes. mm. Chilling here in the garage. Excuse me. Donald Trump sucks. Yes, he does. So does Joe Biden. We need to get better people in here. I swear. Like, I'm gonna try vote. Like, when I go in to vote, I'm probably gonna do a third party, but I doubt anything's gonna happen. Why does Joe Biden suck? Well, he's mainly an old guy and he makes a lot of stupid decisions. I'll say that. Yes, both sucks. I agree. The freedom of snowmen. I guess that would help. Maybe I'll get this guy out of the garage. He can get a job and work at Mackey's. I'll be going over there. He can get my... Can't blame him. He's 84 years old. That's kind of the point. Like, stop electing old guys. I want to see, like, someone of that age who's, like, super old. They've been around and they don't really know the current issues that's happening with the country. Like, they can't really live it or whatever. If you're, like, someone that was, like, born in, like, the late 90s and stuff, and you have your childhood going through, like, going through, like, the 1980s or whatever, yeah, if you have your childhood going through the 2000s or so and you just now become a president, you can look at some of those problems that happened in your lifetime and fix a lot of the issues that happened. I like Barack. Barack was good. I think he was pretty good. I would still say, oh dear, what was the one guy? Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He's the best president I think we've ever had, in my opinion. But I will say, Obama did some pretty good stuff when he was in office. A lot better than the past two people have gone. But as of right now, the election just looks like it's just going to be a Trump and Biden again, and both of them I'm not really too keen on. I'm not sure. I don't know, like, I have a feeling, like, after one of those happens, like, if we get Trump, we're gonna have Biden again in the one section again. Slushy, I'm like the best president because of his cuteness. I don't think a cute-looking leader would make the sense, but I would say, like, the one thing we do need more of in this world is more snowmen. That's one thing that this world lacks. And it would definitely be a lot better if there is someone like that in office. As Jordan, you would say, that's a freak show. What's this election going to be? Who knows? Who knows? Maybe they're just gonna... I'd like to, like, elect some young lawyer or something that actually knows the issues, or some police officer or something who actually has to deal. Olaf from Frozen, really? No, not Olaf. He's not smart enough yet. I have Frosty near me and Olaf. I don't have anyone near me. I have that generic snowman up there, which I got from... Where did that one come from? I'm not sure. I've had a few of those. I picked one up at a thrift store. I got one from my neighbor. And then that guy that came from Goodwill. I don't think I have any more snowmen down here. At least actual ones. A lot of them are just like... Well, I have this one here, which I'm going to convert this into a side lamp. It's originally a candle holder, so I'm going to drill a hole through there, stick a thing up for it, and then put a lamp on there. I have a lampshade for it, too. And then there's these guys, which someone was just throwing away, so I rescued those. That guy back there, which someone gave me. That flag that someone also gave me. What else? There might be more over here. I know there's a whole bunch upstairs in storage. I don't think there's any over here besides that one. Frosty's Pledge, 365 days a year. He exists somewhere if he hadn't melted. I keep rebuilding that fella. Let's see. I see some more. I have this one here to blow mold. This vintage guy. He's one of my favorites. He's probably one of my older ones that I have. A little tapestry back there. You can't see it. There's this fella here in this box. It'll turn on. Yes, it will. Yeah, this fella right here. He actually rises up and down. I picked him up at a thrift store. I have a few in these boxes. I have the inflatable snowman here, which you can't see because it's too dark, that I bought recently. My old inflatable snowman's over there. Is it possible to build a custom fan using... The housing would be shaped like a dog, and the fan part would be the dog's stomach. Imagine a giant Clifford fan. You should keep them up in your house 365 days a year to keep you cool. I guess you could make a dog-themed fan. I have a feeling Deco Breeze would do something like that, because they did it with other characters. Like, you have the infamous frog fan and stuff. There's probably one of those around. It'd be easy to do that. And yes, I do have a lot of snowmen in my house. Oh, there's even one up there on the top shelf, but yeah, if I see anything like snowman related at the thrift stores, I normally pick it up. And a lot of people will get me stuff. Eric has a thing for snowmen. I wonder why. Maybe because it's just kind of, I don't know, they're kind of like cute for some reason. A lot of people are things. Oops, I'll share my, well, Ramin home, lol. I'd rather have him as a president. We can get a snowman in house. We'll see. We'll have to see what we can do. Just elect a snowman to get in the office. That'd be pretty entertaining. But yeah, I would like that. Slushy's up in my bedroom. I'd go in there when my dad's sleeping right now, and I don't want to wake him up or anything. But I have him in my bedroom. My back bicycle tire holding air. I came over here earlier and it wasn't holding air for some reason. I need to use my back home tonight. But yeah, I have a lot of snowmen in my bedroom. I will say that. And do I need more? Yes, I do. I need a lot more. I'll say that. But yeah, if you can't tell, I'm even wearing. What the frick is your dad doing here? No, my dad's not in my bedroom. He's in the bedroom across. My dad's in the bedroom across from me. He's in. Let's say my bedroom's up in the front corner of the house, and then his is the back corner there. So, and like we have a really old house, so the walls are just plaster and wood instead of like sheetrock and insulation and wood, like how it's supposed to be. So sound travels through there. Not to mention we have cats, and the cats will probably make a mess and jump all over everything. So. I don't know why I have that drill. It doesn't work. I bought a replacement. Cheap construction. It's an old house. It's actually built pretty well. I guess in like the 80s and 90s, and I'll say the 50s. I think the 1950s had the best construction in terms of housing. Because the old houses like this, the wiring's very flaky. The wiring out here, there's probably, like that outlet over there that the dehumidifier's plugged into, that's probably knob and tube. I have to do a full rewire out here. The electrical out here is pretty bad. But I'd say the garage itself, the walls on this place is sturdy. I love how the ceiling's wood, so you can just screw anything up. So I can mount ceiling fans wherever the heck I want. My previous house was made in the early 60s. It'd be pretty cool to see. It kind of means nothing, though, because, like, the house normally gets remodeled over time, and a lot of things are done, and it's not like how it used to be. My house is, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's been, like, fully remodeled. It's kind of, like, just had a bunch of things happen at one time, like, and, like, this house would have been, like, it's, like, little things that kind of constantly change and change and change. And a house of this old, like, this, as old as my house, it would be very hard to remodel. Because of, like, the walls and the plaster and stuff, and it makes a big mess if you take it down. Ooh, we hit 1 hour. Wow, that's cool. Been on a live stream for over an hour, and it's late at night, too. I should get some sleep. I have work tomorrow around noon. You have to go into work tomorrow at noon. Yeah, it's Tuesday. So, yeah, I have work tomorrow. Hey, get some sleep soon. I don't know. You know, if anyone wants a garage tour. What is your job? I work as a custodian. I work as a custodian and it's fun. I do mow yards as a side hustle because I have a push mower here. I have this push mower. I have this weed eater. I have the other weed eater back there. I have a leaf blower up there that needs help. I have my zero turn. What's a custodian? Pretty much a janitor. Someone who goes around and does mops floors, vacuums, dusts, takes out the trash, fix things that are broken, kind of that type of thing. I work at a warehouse, and a lot of times I'll mop the floor in like the break room area. I'll kind of needy up like the storage rooms and stuff because a lot of the times in the storage rooms everything will get kind of piled up and stuff, and no one goes in there to clean it. So I'll do a lot of organization, moving pallets and stuff around so they're not in the center of the floor. Um, a white dude like you with a job like that, that's so beneath you. Ah, man. Man, that was offensive. I love my job. I don't think, like, I wouldn't work, like, in fast food or anything like that. I wouldn't work higher up and stuff. Like, I do the mowing. I do like doing the landscaping like this. I find it fun. But and then actually, I'd say my landscaping, like my little side hustle, this actually became my main hustle. I would rather do this than like the actual paid job I do. But yeah, and also that job I do as a custodian, I'm also mowing grass in that job too. So I'll go out there. We have about an acre and a half of land. 60-inch Swisher zero turns what I use, and I'll go out there and mow for a few hours, and it's really relaxing. And the best thing is, my boyfriend is sleeping, but I'm not the type of guy to go to bed late. How much are you getting paid per hour? I get paid commission. I'm working under the table, but what I'll pretty much do is if I go in and I get a certain amount of work done, he'll just kind of pay me for each job I get done and what I do, and I get paid pretty good. I'd say I would say if I would have to put it on an average, I'd say about 15 per hour, which is around minimum wage. But depending on which work, like what I'm doing, like if I'm mowing, I get paid like 30 an hour or so. Like I get paid pretty good. So I'll get paid like 50 or so just to mow all that grass and like weed whack and all of that stuff. So I do get paid pretty good for that, and like for certain things and stuff. But tomorrow I'm going in. I've not been there in over a week. Cool, where can I sign up? I won't say because my employer doesn't like me giving out his location, but I'll say it's in Marshallville, Ohio. I love your video, by the way. Thanks. I like filming. I took a break for a while. If you watch like my most recent video that probably just uploaded like not too long ago, I'll kind of explain where I've been and some of the things like that's happened and why I haven't been filming. I kind of struggle with depression and stuff. And that's also a reason why I work as a custodian. Is I don't have to deal with people directly. Something like if I would be working in Walmart or something like that, I would constantly have to talk to stupid customers each day. And the average American is like modern day Americans are so. Your profile picture is the cutest. Don't change it. I love my profile picture. So there's a YouTuber called Skylar Studios, and she's into the kind of like the same type of stuff as that, like, and she does a lot of art commissions and stuff. And I'm good friends with her. I've actually not talked to her since the incident happened, because I kind of exited the community, but she drew that for me, and did an amazing job. And that is kind of my original character there. His name is Freeze. Eric Freeze, which is kind of like my username or whatever, but he's a snowman, and it's actually based off of a animatronic snowman my uncle had growing up. So, yeah, and that was kind of like how I got into the whole snowman thing. Yeah, so that's kind of like the story behind the profile picture. I'd show you the one thing, but I don't have much. I don't really have like can't really show you, but I have a better picture on my phone. If I knew how to like screen share and stuff on the stream, I would go fetch that picture and post it up. But yeah, I had someone draw that for me. Um, oh, oops! I have more. Have you ever felt like doing the prices right? Losing horns when Jordan Yu or another YouTuber shows off their fan, plugs it in, turns it on, and it doesn't work. No, I never thought about that. My China Pride window AC, a Danby 10,000 BTU. So right now it's 57 degrees outside, and the damn thing doesn't freeze up. China Pride air conditioner. Work. It's right now 57 degrees outside. Outdoor, and the damn thing doesn't froze up. You say it did froze up, or does it not? A lot of the modern units aren't bad. You just have to keep them clean. But there's also, once again, the control board stuff and all that stuff. Danby is a I think Danby at the time, like a majority of products were Electrolux. Does not freeze up. Cue the prices right. Losing horns doesn't freeze up. I guess that's pretty good. Midea. That's what I was about to say. Like eventually, Electrolux got bought out by Midea. I think that was 2015 or so, and now we're starting to see Midea things over here in the States. Like I'm not sure if anyone here knows the significance of Midea, but they're actually a pretty important brand. And they kind of did a lot of really important things, not just here in the States, but over in other countries. But Midea, I think, was founded in the 70s or 80s, but they were a electric motor manufacturer, and they would make electric motors and gearbox assemblies for oscillating fans. And they would typically send those out to Taiwanese manufacturers and Chinese manufacturers. And they made the DT466. I'm pretty sure Westinghouse modern fans are made by SMC, Shell Manufacturing Company. Actually, like their ceiling fans, those are made by Encon. They kind of took over the Encon. I'm not sure about their portables though. I've not seen those, and yeah. But they made motors and stuff for a lot of Taiwanese fans. Eventually, in the 80s, they were making their own fans over in China, and eventually over here in the States in the 90s. Like the early 90s, they were shipping fans over to the United Kingdom. Mid 90s, they were shipping fans to Canada under the Super brand name, and they got very common. Eventually, they were selling fans to Shell Manufacturing Company, SMC. SMC was rebranding their fans and selling them over here in the States and in Canada. And then eventually, like, they started doing a bunch of OEMs here and stuff, and yeah. I have a Super made by SMC. My modern Westinghouse can handle a vent suspicious so much like a SMC. Yeah, Super. I know for sure Super and SMC are the same thing, because they had a lot of rebrands. I wish fans today were made with the same care as they would a car motor or airplane motor. Oh man, that'd be nice. Definitely have to put a lot of work with the airplanes and stuff, kind of like keeping them like safe, because like there's a lot of people flying on those each day. I'd say something I noticed about like the freshened airs. If you look at the blade hub on those, the blades themselves look like an airplane prop, the Bakelite blades, but the actual motor housing itself looks like a cowling for like an old like World War like military airplane. I find that really cool. And I'm actually gonna. There's a freshened air knockoff that's at a local antique store my friend goes to. Might have him pick that up for me. I'm kind of curious about it. Don't know if I'm gonna drop $80 on it. Well, electric and solar power plants. Eventually, that's gonna happen. There is a Had to drink more. I think solar can make a good way soon. Now, something like an inefficient use of solar, in my opinion, is just covering a whole field with solar panels, because that's field that could be used for farming and stuff. But I think, and I'm seeing a lot of that around here where I live. A lot of times there's solar fields, and I feel like that's not a really good use of solar panels. Yeah, it does helpful and like lowers the energy bills and stuff, which I'm happy about. But I feel like if they were to put solar panels like on the tops of people's houses, like widespread, I would like that a lot more. I think that'd work a lot better than taking up room in a field somewhere that could be used for farming. And yeah, that's kind of how I feel about that. So if they implement like a large place like a hospital or school where they have a lot of that roof space, if they cover that with solar panels, that'd be very nice. And not to mention if they're using like the higher efficiency, like the LEDs and stuff, they wouldn't be using that much energy. And I even have a complaint about LEDs too, because of course, which company in your opinion makes the best fans nowadays? I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with Midea. I really like Midea. They have some good fans. I wouldn't say they're the most powerful. I think the best manufacturer that's like out there is Wington, which is a Chinese manufacturer, but they don't sell the products here in the States. And I have never even experienced them, so I'm not sure if I can like say that they're good products. But I would say over here, in terms of portable fans, Midea has the best product. Now they don't make box fans, but I'll say Lasco has a good product. Their Free 7 Free, I think it's an okay fan. I wouldn't say it's the best, but I wouldn't recommend it because for the price that they're going for like $25 now because of inflation. I wouldn't go for a Free 7 Free. I'd go for an Aerospeed Coolmaster box fan. It's built a bit better. It's way cheaper. It's about $20 instead of the 23 or whatever that instead of like the 28 or whatever just the Lascos were. But also the Coolmaster fans, they have better grills. The frames on them feel a lot more solid, but they don't move as much as the Lascos. They also tend to get better with the balance. I was gonna say, except the one I got recently, that the blade set's like all warped and out of clock and doesn't work the right way. But in terms of box fans, it's kind of hard because there's not a good company that makes those. I think Lasco probably has the best quality fan, and yet they lack a lot of quality. There's not really a good brand out anymore. There's this one modern box fan I got that I believe it was made by Guanxing actually, which is strange because I thought they stopped making fans in the late 2000s. But the grills on that fan are very thin. But the fan itself, the performance is amazing. It's very lightweight, it's very easy to use, and it can fit into the window amazingly. But it's just, I think for the price I paid for it, it was kind of expensive for what it was, and it's just, I'm not too sure. But I'll say with box fans, there's room for improvement. I feel like a Metal Blade box fan with a slightly thicker case should make a comeback. And if it has good build quality, I think I'd buy one of those each day for $50 a pop. I totally would. And with the 12-inch oscillators, Midea has a good product. I think the Midea ones. Whatever happened to Patton? Just shared the video for you, mate. Thanks. What happened to Patton? I remembered seeing some Patton fans in our house when I was a kid. 20-inch with free blades. There's 12 free curved blades. Patton was bought out by Holmes in the 2000s. They stopped making high velocity fans. I don't know. They might still make them, but they're rebranded Holmes products, and the quality just isn't there anymore. The older Patton fans are amazing. I actually pulled one out of an abandoned property that was an abandoned pickup truck bed, and Technological Heritage. He was actually able to get that fan running. The video has an iHeart fan for the Air Truth. The video is an iHeart fan for iHeart fans. The Facebook group. Yes, I know what that is. Like I have my freaking brains going all confused and stuff. But yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. Facebook. Oh, thanks. I doubt I'm gonna. I guess I'll stay on a bit longer. Thanks for sharing it though. I was just talking about that Facebook group a bit ago with, I think, Steve, when Steve was on. Getting close to the end of the soda. But Patton had some good stuff. I'd like to get a Patton. There's an antique store, actually the same one that has that two-blade freshened air knockoff. They have a U222, which is their biggest high-velocity fan. It's a 22-inch, straight blade, all aluminium. That's kind of like one of my dream fans right now. I'd like a big Patton. I think it'd be an awesome garage fan. I'm currently rocking a Lakewood HV21, courteous of David the Fan Collector. Shout out to you, David. I doubt you're watching this, but if you watched it replay, I've been rocking that as my garage fan, and I love it. It's kind of a cheaper fan because it's kind of Lakewood's last gasp at a good quality, high velocity fan. I added if you want a new friend. I have a big Patton at my dad's place. Oh, you gotta send me a picture of that at some point. I'd like to see that. And then like a smaller Blue Blade Patton. Local thrift store I have has a small, like a 12-inch Blue Blade Patton with like the curved blades in back. I tried asking about it last year, and they said it belonged to one of the employees, and it kind of sat there, and for a while I didn't see it, and in just a few, like earlier this week, I saw it in use. My family had a stand fan which they would put in the hallway of our house that lasted about 16 years before it finally gave out. It was serviced once or twice, but it ran beautifully. Do you know what brand that fan was? I might be able to like to give some opinions on that. I'm curious what brand it is. I have a few stand fans. I have a weird Aerospeed stand fan. Not many I don't think collector has one of those yet, and they're very rare, and they're big childhood fans. I have an Aerospeed stand fan in my upstairs hallway. I have a Holmes 12-inch stand fan in my fitness center, and I'm using it on the clapper. I have a really, really powerful Tatung stand fan from '95, which collectors have just now started to pick those up. It's like they finally realized that those are good fans or something. And I have a crappy Catalina. Unfortunately, the fan doesn't work, but it's in my pile of stuff to fix. Hopefully you get that working. That'd be a good fan to have. It was a Hampton Bay pivoting head, bought it August of 2002, died June of 2018. It was a pretty good service life. If it was Hampton Bay branded, it would most likely be made by SMC. Well, it was actually made by Videa, but SMC distributed it because that was the company that owned Hampton Bay. So that would be that'd probably be a pretty good fan, I'd say. Because a lot of the old SMC stuff, the SMC portables, they were really good. I know their 16-inch desk fans, they were kind of hit or miss. I have SMC window fan inside that I use from 2006 with digital controls. I love it. It's one of my favorites. It's my go-to window fan, actually. I have a Holmes, but it needs some work. I have to tear it apart for cleaning. I have some other projects going on because I got other things I need to work on. Yeah, it even had a great startup sound to the match. Yeah. Where was it? Yeah, the Holmes window fan. It's right here. I have to get that cleaned up. My next culprit is at Lasco. I'm from Quebec, Canada. Cool. So you got to see all the cool stuff. Up in Canada, a lot of the vintage fans are a bit more unique than the vintage fans here. You get the Torcans, which I would love to get a Torcan box fan. This Robeson kind of looks like a Torcan. It's a poor man's Torcan, but the old Torcan box fans, they're really cool. You get to see a lot of the Electro Home stuff, and Super was sold up there, so you get to see a lot of Super fans. I have a small Torcan fan. That's cool. I'd like to get a 20-inch Torcan box fan with the plastic blades. They have like the weird impeller in the center hub of the blades. From the 1940s. Wow, I didn't realize they were made that far, that long ago. That'd be pretty cool to see. I have to check a video, see if you have a video of that one. I'll have to watch that sometime. I think that'd look really cool. Ooh, old clock radios. Ooh, Jordan Hughes sounds like Garfield, but he sneezes like Clifford. I don't think I've ever heard him sneeze before in a video. How much more drink do I have left? I'm running out. Going to share you a pic on Messenger. I'll chat with you on Messenger afterwards. I'm probably going to end the stream soon. I am sleepy. Oh, jeez. Cherry 7-Up. It's the best soda ever, and this is a zero sugar counterpart because I don't want cavities. need to get a can crusher out here, so I don't have to do that every time I'm finished with something. Putting this plate over here, and I'm going to flip it over because tomorrow I want to eat more pizza out here. Probably when I come over here around noon. Actually, no, I have work. That can't be happening. What else do I have to do? I have to turn off the... Leave that dehumidifier on overnight. I don't know how full it is, but... Probably not full enough, but... It'll run overnight, and eventually we'll get the humidity down. So turn off the lights out here. You have this fan here I just fixed up today. I have to find a place for it. I'll slide it out of the way a bit so I can pull the bike out of here. I'm gonna head back to Mom's house. I have 6 blocks to go downhill, so it should be easy, but it's probably gonna be really cold. Turn off this light. Turn off this light. Which is better, plastic blades or metal blades? It all depends on the aerodynamics. Each fan works a bit differently. It all comes down to kind of like what it is and how the blade's designed. If it's anything like commercial or something, blades, I just say it all depends. Like if you have a big motor, put metal blades on. If you have a small motor, just use the plastic blades. But I'm gonna should open the garage door. I got my new garage door remote today that works now. So I can actually use my garage door on my bicycle. Is Bus 14 still in service? Yes, she is. She's making a trip to Cedar Point this weekend, which is awesome. I was quite stoked to hear that it's going on a trip that long. But she's going on it. I believe Bus 8 might be going on it, Bus 3, and Bus 7. So they're bringing all the spare buses, which is cool. Because typically, with all that stuff, I'm not... Now, I stopped kind of, like, I'm not, like, on, like, any of the routes or anything anymore, so I don't get a chance to ride that bus, but... I've definitely, like, I've been trying to get them taught in service. 14 has actually been used a bit recently, not as a spare, but it doesn't have a route anymore. I can't share it right now on your Facebook, but if you decide to accept my request, I could share you the torque cannons. Other stuff, but I prefer trains. I'm kind of into trains. I'm not really like an actual train enthusiast, but I do some like rail fanning. I go out and check. There's my town is like literally covered with railroad tracks. So there's a line that goes up for there. It's Norfolk Southern, and it kind of wraps around over there and goes down that way. And then there's Wheeling and Lake Erie going up for that way. There's another Wheeling and Lake Erie line out that way that's shared with Norfolk Southern. Yeah, old and modern trains, I don't care the ages. For me, I like the diesel locomotives, the really old diesel locomotives. A lot of the stuff that Wheeling and Lake Erie runs, they have some of the older, I think they're the GP40s. I have a few videos on YouTube. I actually have some more, but they have some really older ones, the high hoods and stuff, and the turbo whistles on those sound really good. So I like to go out when they're moving, because there's a lumber yard that's nearby here, and they'll pick up and drop off lumber there a lot of times, and they always have a different locomotive there each time. So you'll get a chance to see some pretty cool locomotives. Why is some speeds 321 and 123? It just depends on the manufacturer. There's no actual say or whatever to like there's no standard for which speed goes first. It's just kind of how they work. A lot of times the ceiling fans tie to low, and in portables now it's low to high. Sometimes you get push buttons. There's a lot going on, but the normals normally high to low. So 321. There's some fans like that wall fan is 123. These ceiling fans, they're push button controlled because they're on remotes. That one's high to low. This air conditioner, you can pull the switch any way, so you can actually like decide which speed you want. Yeah. Well, I'm going to get off the live stream now because my throat's sore and I want to go to sleep. So thank you very much for watching. And keep the breeze. I'll probably go live again tomorrow, maybe. Tomorrow night if I'm up to it. So I want to thank all my viewers who decided to tune in. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe, I guess. So he already did comment. I just have to hit the X button.